Hey Sainers, welcome back to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Welcome to the Round 6 match preview. We take on the Western Bulldogs. Easter Sunday game, Sunday night, 7:20 p.m, Marvel Stadium. It is a Bulldogs home game, but we play well at Marvel, so it's good to be back after a couple of weeks in Adelaide. But before we get into that, pre-game plug, Friends of Fire, they're putting on a Saints TV meal special. It'll pop up on the screen right now. Simply just screenshot that and show them at gate 3 a couple hours before the game. You'll get your meal, and then there's also a happy hour deal exclusive to Saints TV post-game as well. So if we get up, we have a good win, head to Friends of Fire, show them the post, and you get the discount. So thanks again to them for the support for the channel for the remainder of the year. They are currently 12th on the ladder. They've played some pretty good teams, and to be honest, they've actually played some pretty good football in some of those games. They were 40 up last week against Brisbane. They beat Carlton. They've been competitive in most games, obviously only getting the 2 wins, but that's without Bontempelli and a couple of injuries, so they've had to see the likes of Matt Kennedy come in and step up and maybe take on more responsibility than what he thought. Ed Richards has been really good, and obviously Sam Darcy is going to be the main talking point. And for us, we are coming off the back of a loss to the Giants, 28 points last Sunday at Norwood, and it wasn't a terrible game and it wasn't a great game. It was kind of just, they were better, they beat us. Like, that to me is as simple as that. It wasn't too much to lose sleep over, and the Bulldogs, they'll be pissed off they dropped points against Brisbane, especially the way Brisbane played last night. They were there for the taking, and they choked that lead and lost the game in the end. Everything goes through Darcy. So to me, if we negate Sam Darcy in this game, that will go an enormous way to winning this game. If Sam Darcy's kicking his 4 or 5, you'd think the Dogs are getting a stranglehold on the game and on the contest. But what Ross said, even for the Giants game, but in particular this game, if we can make it an ugly game out of the centre and not give Sam Darcy clean ball on the lead, because he's a contested beast, but also he's great on the lead, Sam Darcy. So I think Caminiti's probably more suited to Norton, who's jumping into packs and trying to take contested marks. He's also 1 centimetre taller than Norton, so I think that's easy. And I just don't trust him on a leading type like Sam Darcy, although he is very good in the contested situation as well, with his height of like 208 centimetres. So Cal Wilkie, maybe just because he's more senior and experienced playing on blokes that are taller than him, maybe that's probably the best matchup, but I'd imagine maybe at times they might swap. So we'll see what happens there. In terms of the ins for us, Liam Henry is one, which I think is an absolute lock. Harry Boyd and Ari Shawmaker. So clearly height-wise, that is a concern. Whether we play Boyd in the ruck, and that means Ron Marshall can sit forward and make them a little bit more accountable, because we don't have height down there. We have Sharman, Mitch Owens. There's not really much else there. So do we bring in Boyd, first game since round 1, and they sort of tag team Tim English? I don't know. For the Bulldogs, Marcus Bontempelli is the big in. He was primed for round 6 return for the last couple of weeks, and of course that happens every year. Butters, I'm pretty sure a couple of years ago it happened with some big teams, and this year obviously Bontempelli, which is awesome. I think Charlie Curnow, even a couple of years ago, if you remember, he came back for Carlton and they beat us under the roof. Oscar Baker's the other one. Jed Buslinger, Harvey Gallagher, and then James Harms is the out. We don't have any outs right now, but I'd imagine Toby Travalia, maybe Angus Hasty. These types are going to be... it could even just be Toby out or Hasty out, Liam Henry in, if we don't want to go with that extra height. But at the moment, the Dogs have won the last couple against us by a fair bit, which is not great. So we are due. But overall, I think this is a 50-50 game. I think we play the Marvel deck as good as anyone, but I know the Bulldogs play it really well also. They've got a high possession game, although we do average slightly more, but they average 15 more handballs per game. So similar to the Giants, they do like to connect through handball chains, but they're very aggressive. They go through the middle of the ground. We like to use the boundary as a safe zone going outside the defensive 50, but then depending on who has the ball, like if it's a Naz or a Sinks, we then look to cut inboard, and that's where we can become aggressive. But we don't go down the guts straight from the kick-ins, which the Bulldogs, they tend to do. So I think it's a bit easier for the Bulldogs when they know they've got targets like Norton and Darcy, so they can be a little bit more direct and haphazard going forward. Whereas for us, and we found it last week, we had 11 more inside 50s than the Giants, and we didn't capitalize because we didn't have that luxury of a target, and we were prone to the occasional bomb, which we've been pretty good at avoiding for the last 4 or 5 weeks, which is why I think we've won as many games as we have so far. So learning sort of curve from last week is we had no problem getting it end to end, and I think it'll be easier in this game. I don't think the Bulldogs are probably as good defensively as the Giants, and maybe even Port Adelaide, but we still need to lower the eyes. We still need to lead. We still need to offer different options. And I think looking at history, looking at the Bulldogs' defense, they don't usually have problems dealing with the big gorillas. They have problems with the medium-sized forwards who get off the chain a little bit. So like Collingwood's forward line would cause them a lot of problems. I think you look at our forward line, I know it was 2023, but the way we pulled them apart in round 2, I think it was, and Phillippo kicked 3, and Mitch Owens bobbed up, and Gresham was big, and Higo was big that night. Like, I think our forward line is unpredictable enough in terms of size, height, talent. Like, I want to keep Collard in this team for this reason, and I think we can cause them some problems. Our rebound 50 rate is stronger than theirs. We have more inside 50s. Our kicking efficiency is higher. We do kick a lot more than them, so they handball a lot more than us. We kick a lot more. The hit-outs to advantage is strong. We average more goals than them, despite them having one of the best forwards in the comp at the moment. And our tackles overall is higher. But the clearances, surprisingly, our clearance rate is actually higher than theirs. So, but again, they didn't have Bontempelli. So now they do. If he plays, it's going to give them a little bit more confidence in there. But I think it's going to fuel the likes of Steele, who we need to improve. Rowan Marshall needs to improve. Jack Sinclair needs to improve. Brad Hill needs to improve. Zach Jones, not listed as an out. He was one of my outs in the predictions. If he plays, he absolutely needs to improve. I have no problem with the youngsters at all. Like, I trust that they'll give it their all and they'll play an exciting game. Like Garcia, Windy, I got no problems. Darcy Wilson, I expect him to improve. It's the senior players. If the senior players come to the party in this game, I really do think we can win. And if we can negate Darcy and Bont, I think that's absolutely going to go a long way. But it's not just Bont. Like, Liberatore is really important. Obviously, Matt Kennedy has been huge for them. He's been one of the recruits of the year. Bailey Dale always kills us off halfback with his ball use and his run and carry. He's one that needs to be looked at. And obviously, Rory Lobb, who plays behind the ball. And we saw how silly we were going inside 50 last week and how easy it was for the Giants to rebound because of their sort of intercept marks. We don't want Rory Lobb and Liam Jones to just have an absolute day out. We need to be bringing that ball to ground. We need to be creating a contest and then having the medium to small size players go to work, because that's where I think we can hurt them. Their backline, I think, is their weakness. It's not the strongest. It is not a GWS standard backline. Hell, it's not even a Port Adelaide standard backline. I've tipped us. Like, I'll be honest, I've tipped us. I think this is a huge opportunity to go 4-2. They are 2-3, so they're the opposite. If they lose this, they go 2-4. It's not going to be hard, but it's going to put them back. For us, if we go 4-2 going into a Brisbane game, and watching Brisbane last night, I mean, is it weird that I think we could probably do something at Marvel next Saturday afternoon if we get the job here? Like, it's a huge 2 weeks for our boys. Like, and then you've got, I think, Fremantle and then Carlton. This is a huge opportunity for us, and every game to me is a free hit. And I think Sunday night, there was enough against the Giants that I think our form hasn't dipped. We just played a very good team. I think I firmly expect us to play Sunday night like we played against the Cats, like we played against Port, like we played against Richmond, and in patches against the Giants. So I hope it's going to be a big crowd. I don't know what it's like on a Sunday, Easter Sunday type thing, but we're going to have Greek Easter that lunchtime, and then I'm going to be heading in with my uncle and the fam that night. So absolute ripper contest, 2 very even teams. I think this is one of the games of the round, to be honest. And hopefully it delivers and we get the 4 points. So on that note, Sainers, put it in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling about the game. The full changes for the lineups will be out at 5 p.m. tonight. I'm expecting probably just Liam Henry out, and maybe Zach Jones or Toby or Hasty, these sort of guys out. Maybe a very simple change there, but it wouldn't surprise me again if we elect for a little bit more height to combat the likes of Sam Darcy and Aaron Norton. So on that note, Sainers, enjoy the rest of your week. I know it's going to be a fun Easter long weekend starting now. So hopefully have a great time and we can cap it off with a win on Sunday night. So take care, and as always, go you mighty Sainers. See you guys.